Poor Fat Man here with another video. Anyway, this here was my littlest chainsaw. It's a 50cc saw, and it's kind of heavy and hard to run with one hand. Your hand's back here, so it's way out of balance. Plus it flexes that handle if you notice when you try to lift up on it, which it's definitely not good for doing. So I got me a littler chainsaw. This one's a 25cc saw, but it weighs much less, and weighs much less, and it cost me $95, because some of them was over $400 and some dollars. Anyway, being that I'm a poor man, a common working man, you know, the kind that the liberals and the politicians and everybody like to keep down and make sure we don't pay nothing. That's the reason why minimum wage never kept up with inflation. That's why it ain't $32.80 an hour. And the rich have gotten greedier and greedier and just use people and take more and more. And anyway, that's why, with nobody representing the working guy and them illegally taxes, that's the reason why they had the Boston Tea Party. Things are going to continue to get worse. But nonetheless, I found this little chainsaw that you can easily operate with one hand. It's lightweight for $95. Online. My wife ordered it for me. I unboxed it, and I was surprised it came with a funnel, because the gas and the fuel port are pretty small. It came with 2 mixing bottles. This one here will measure the oil on one side, you put the gas on the other side, and you mix them together. Pretty nifty. This one here, it's got the numbers and everything on it. You mix it yourself. I thought, heck, might be easier to pour the other stuff into there. Anyway, this chainsaw, unlike my other chainsaw, I was trying to see if it said it on here. This chainsaw, my Poulan Pro, which is a 50-20, which means it's a 50cc saw with a 20-inch bar, which you can swap any bar out you want on any saw you want and make that shorter or smaller. Anyway, it came with that. I didn't buy another bar for it. This one here, it came with a 12-inch bar, which I got the little cover on it. But there's how much littler that is. It looks a lot smaller. Neither one of them can you cut the size that they are with. Now, this thing here, it came with falling spurs or spikes or whatever you want to call them. It bolts on right to there. You can see that already sticks out. This chainsaw, it came with them too. But the bar's a lot bigger, and I don't even use the full 20 inches, so I can cut I can actually cut at least a 40-inch piece of wood with it, because if you do it right and cut clear around it. Anyway, the thing is that that doesn't bother me. This one being so tiny, they just get in the road. So I didn't put them on. And anyway, like I said, it came with the funnel. It came with the cover for the bar. That one came with a bar cover and an entire container you can put the saw in. So this one didn't. But this one came with, like I said, 2 bottles for mixing the gas and oil mixture. And it came with these other parts, which this is a scrunch. A scrunch, you always need it. All chainsaws, I never bought one that didn't come with the scrunch. This one came with the scrunch, and what's nice about this scrunch is this mounts right under the handle like that, so you always got it with you, which is really nice. Have you ever been in a tight situation and you wanted your scrunch and you have to go find it? You'll know what I mean. Anyway, it came with this little flatbed screwdriver. It came with an Allen wrench, a smaller one. It came with the bigger Allen wrench. It also came with this cute little file for sharpening that little for sharpening that little chain, which I'm glad it came with all that. And it came with the falling spurs, like I said, which will never probably be on the chainsaw. So I'm going to try to keep all that stuff together. Anyway, I'm going to gas her up, put some bar oil in it, and see how she runs. The bar oil is really thick. Seems thicker than honey. Anyway, you can see most of the hail and the snow around here has melted off. So we got a lot of high water, mud, and slop. And this saw is little, and it's my first time, so I'm kind of putting it bar oil and stuff in there slow because I just don't know how much it takes. Holds a tiny amount of gas and a tiny amount of bar oil. I filled this container right to where my thumb is because that's the full mark, and that's how much bar oil it took, which it goes from 600 milliliters down to about 450. Wish it had it in real American numbers that matter to me, but I would say probably about 2.5, 3 ounces. Gas, it held about a pint. Maybe not even quite that. Anyway, here's the, can you see that? That's the priming bubble. Said to press it 10 times. 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now, this is the choke, I believe. That's the screw that takes it off. Here's the off and on switch. So that's off, that's on, because I means ignition. Off means open, which opens up the electrode so it doesn't spark. And this is the choke. And choked is all the way up to start, and then you put it down to run. It looks like it has a halfway in between. So let's see if we can get her started up. She started up after 4 pulls. And that's what she sounds like. Let's go something into some wood. Now here's our little piece of tree left. I could probably cut most of this up with the big chainsaw much faster. The little stuff I really want to work it on is the trimmings there to put in the wood, but we're going to try this chainsaw out in the bigger pieces, so that way we know how it handles.